to Keen, and so they're not going to do that. Although I guess
it's already
solo lanes are already locked in regardless, so they will take the Yorick first. That is going to be the option here. So not going to go for the cute little Galio theory that I had, but Chovy could obviously play that. As Gumayusi thinking about the Senna, he did play this a couple of days ago.
It was very...
He didn't necessarily win, but they won.
He didn't really play the game, but they did win the game.
Yeah.
Xayah in Divide is a Guma special.
Oh, God. Speaking of, specials for players, the Xayah Rakan is definitely Gumayusi and Delight. That's what it feels like to me. And the Senna is going to be the lock-in instead. It was Senna Nautilus that they played last time. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was
Senna Alistar, I think.
Senna Alistar last time as well.
Yeah, they really have been practicing this. It's very clear that that's the game plan, and they have a lot of scaling elements in this draft. I just wonder, though, into the really strong mid-game power of Gen G, they might just get bowled over early.
I mean, they did get bowled over early, though, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't enough. So,
and
I don't know. Maybe it's just fine to not win, like, at all in the bottom lane. As Viari does come in. And Gen G have a bowl you over in the mid-game, the comp. Like, that is what this is.
It is like all gas, no brakes, no scaling.
Has infinite scaling and a Rise that feels like he has infinite scaling. Let's get onto the Rift for game number 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the Rift for game number 2. Gen G versus HLE. As Duro and Ruler spotted on a ward. As HLE getting a fair bit of vision down in this early game. Wanting to make sure that they can see all of the stuff that can hurt them in this lane. It is not going to be fun. We're not going to sugarcoat it. This is going to be a rough time for the Alistar in the center.
And there's a Vi that will get involved in this. And the Trundle will sometimes pull things out of the ground. I think that when I look at these comps, this is like my big feeling as we were like, zooming into the Nexus, looking at the compositions on our big, really cool screens. This feels like Gen G are playing a HANWHA comp. And HANWHA are playing a more scaling, more unusual. It's not even a Gen G comp. I'm not trying to say it's a reversal. But after some of the ways that HANWHA have been playing recently and how Kanavi's changed his playstyle a little bit and how Guma's been doing a little bit more weak side, this team has evolved. Like, this is not just okay, we go in, we know what Guma's playing, it's going to be the same draft every time for HLE. They've really been experimenting, and maybe putting bluffing in has changed the way they're thinking about the game. It's hard to know for sure, but like, this draft here has nothing like anything we've been seeing from HANWHA for most of this year, and I like to see it. I mean, that doesn't mean they can't play what they were great at before. They're playing other things now, too, which means they're just a bigger threat. Potentially moving into that road to MSI, regardless of what happens in this series. They have clearly widened, I think, their depth of play.
Now Kanavi is looking to go aggressive here towards his bottom side. No vision available for Gen G as Ruler gets pulverized. Delight makes his way in. Let's see whether Kanavi can get the pillar down. That's a good one. Flashes in looking for Ruler. And he does have barrier. Let's see whether it keeps him alive. The answer is no. Piercing darkness from Gumayusi is going to lock down first blood. And that will change how this bottom lane's going to look.
Yeah, and that part is still classic HLE Kanavi coming in at level 3. To punish the pushing lane there, and unfortunately Canyon is just nowhere to be seen.
And the wards were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, they had no vision. They had no way of stopping this. And then I guess they just thought, well, it's Trundle, so we have the mobility to get away. Maybe that's what they thought. But unfortunately, Delight said, I'm actually the real problem here. The Trundle is just the finisher, as Delight punishes Ruler when he steps forward. And it's perfect.
Pole flash, gorgeously played there for Delight. As in the meantime, we've got even more action. Ruler doesn't have his flash still, remember, as Melio just gets slammed between a pillar and a wall. Still, they're focused on this Lucian, wanting to take down Ruler. Kanavi possibly going to overextend for this one, as Ruler is taking a lot of damage. Gets another dash finally, as now Delight could be in trouble, but Zeka shows up as well, and Canyon has to flash to get himself out of the way, then goes back in. Not sure about that one, but Chovy's able to lock down the kill. He doesn't have Spirit Rush, though, and that was a pillar and a half from Kanavi, and 3 kills already for HLE.
The hubris on the play for Gen G is kind of unreal. Like, if Chovy has ult, then sacrificing yourself to make that kill happen feels like it makes a lot more sense than what we actually got in reality here. As HLE know that Zeka has prio, so they're pushing, and Gen G are like, well, we'll match this fight, we'll force this fight. And eventually Chovy gets there. And Kanavi, yes, he took a lot of damage. Like, he took a lot of damage. But they just don't have any way of locking him down without heavily committing here. And by the way, you know, in these scrappy fights, Senna does a lot.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how much value Guma is going to get out of this huge win as well.
And Kanavi gets the King's Tribute over and over again as well, because there's so many things that are dying around him. The Trundle is just so good in these messy fights. As now Keen puts down the Ghoulie Wall, and Zeus is in a lot of trouble. Does he get another Q? The answer is no. Zeus gets himself out, both of them with their flashes available. And Keen getting the best of him at the moment here in this lane, as Gen G really need to slow this one down.
Gen G have not lost that many games this year. They're 12-4. Pretty good record, not quite as good as some of their other recent domestic records, but Canyon 0-2 on this Vi. Hoping to turn things around here as that last fight.
Not looking great.
Yeah, that last fight made us a little bit worried. I mean, Gen G had such a great game one, despite obviously the end result. And the second game here, we're like talking about Senna is going to take a while to scale, and she's sitting here at 5 minutes with a 700 gold lead.
Yeah.
Little alarming.
It's looking pretty good. Last time he played Senna, he was half the CS of his opposition at about, 10 minutes into the game. Like, it was a real shutout. This is a very different story. They are in a really good position here. 1-0-2 for the Senna, and Delight also sitting with 3 assists to his name. Keen, not really looking too worried about this equalizer, as Zeus does silence himself, but Keen will be able to bring that shovel down again, and there it is, the Maiden getting involved as well. This Yorick counter pick is definitely working out here for Keen. Absolutely,
and they need it to, because everything else is kind of on fire right now.
Oh yeah, as we've got some mad pings coming on through.
Yeah, Realm War, Keen may be in trouble.
He certainly is. Let's see whether he can help himself out of this situation. There are no teleports available for anyone, but he does have a Ghoulie Wall. And Keen is just trying to play some alcove gaming. He flashes in, he looks for Zeus, the ghouls get mad, and he's now trying to keep himself alive again. Zeka as well finds another Q, and I think he's out of there. I think he just won a 1v2.
He actually wants to go back in.
Oh,
he's crazy.
Yeah, he calls some mist, and there is the Maiden getting upset one more time.
Toby's
and the
here.
rest of Gen G are going to show up. Oh, thank you, Keen, for a potential game 3.
My God, what a just set of plays from Gen G. Keen just walks a tightrope on a unicycle.
How do you even walk on a unicycle?
I don't know.
He was walking on the top of the unicycle while the unicycle was on a tightrope.
Well, I think he might have actually been standing on his hands on top of the unicycle.
Ah.
I don't know, but like he buys space here with a Ghoulie Wall, and then he's like, you can see he has the word. He's like, I'm going to kill him. Like, he thought about it seconds before he goes for this flash. Zeus is pushed away. Zeus barely survives.
The sidestep on that Q is so important.
The whole while. Like, they're just coming up. They're showing up. Sidestep is real, like you said, and end up getting 2 kills for the Ahri.
Well, speaking of the Ahri, actually down here for this potential dive, as that charm was fantastic. Kanavi wastes a fair bit of time. They take down the Lucian, but already Gumayusi cannot tank up this turret anymore, and Chovy looking for the angle. Not able to get in there, though, as the Spirit Rush has run out. So 1-for-1 as HLE went for the dive, but it does mean that Zeka gets some free time here in this mid lane.
Yeah, definitely a net win here for HLE as they get the 80 carry off the map. 15 CS down now, Ruler. And they only lose their support. If they had gotten 2 kills back, Gen G would be feeling very good about this, but that is just not what happens. It's a great read from Chovy, coming down here for the cover on this bottom lane, gets the charm onto Kanavi, but he was able to drop turret aggro. Guma eats a shot here, and then Kanavi is able to escape.
Yeah, so if it had been a couple of kills back, I think Gen G would have been a lot happier about it, but not actually the case here as the equalizer goes down yet again. It's burning the Maiden quite effectively, but Keen, I think, able to walk out of it and feel all right. And Kanavi now setting up for a potential dive. Has Delight
Someone's
here as
coming
well.
up,
all right, let's see. The rest of the cavalry have showed up, but there is the Dawning Shadow. And it's Gumayusi that's able to help them lock this one down. Gen G just a little bit late to the play as the charm is going to connect onto Delight. But it is not going to be enough. Now Ruler trying to deal with this Senna here, as we have a bit of a domestic dispute in the bottom lane.
Has a barrier advantage right now. Actually has so many souls this early on in the game as well. 27 at 8.5 minutes here from that early fighting.
And just like so far ahead as far as farm.
It's the exact opposite of his last Senna game. Like you were saying, he's practically doubling Ruler CS here. And they know that Duru's on his way back here. I don't think they can really force anything, but grabbing a plate is still a win here for Gumayusi. And, you know, Gen G were a little bit slow on the play there the second time around on the dive. The first time they were able to turn it around and get Chovy to a third kill, but not going to happen this time as HANWHA Esports stay on a very comfortable 1.2 thousand gold lead with a scaling composition.
Yeah, this comp will certainly feel pretty fantastic moving into Dragon fights as well. With the Trundle and the Rumble combination, you can really keep them on the equalizer and get a lot of value. There's a lot of slipperiness in Gen G's composition, though, and they play 4-1 very effectively with this this Yorick, who is still very strong, even though he did go down. And the gold lead has moved slightly towards Zeus as far as that top lane matchup is concerned.
If you can get out of the laning phase into Lucian Milio Vi with the Shiv, as Guma has now, you feel like you already won the game. Because now your life is actually fun. Like, now you actually just get to clear waves with Shiv and just not interact with anybody and keep scaling. Like, now you're just... It's like when you finally get a seat on the train. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a little bit uncomfortable before that. You know, there's a lot of people pushing around, trying to hold onto your phone. You got to get something out of your pocket. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but you get that seat. You're like, okay, well, now I'm just chilling. Yeah, and I'll get to the destination no matter what. Like, it feels like that's where Guma is in this game right now, as he's just able to coast through at this point with the lead that he has. And he's always going to be a late-game threat on this Senna. He's always been a great late-game Senna. He's played it so often in the past.
In every iteration of it as well. It was especially good when it was unlocking Keria on the map to give him a whole bunch of extra golden experience and money. So Gen G, they are fighting an uphill battle here. Different version of the Senna this time. Certainly the same flavor as, once again, Kanavi shows up towards this bottom side. 100% kill contribution for the Trundle as well. And he has his Trinity Force done. Canyon trying to get some money out of Zeus here in this top lane. Let's see whether that's going to work out, as he will be able to just throw down the ulti first. The charm's going to get flashed, but I don't think Zeus is out of the woods just yet. Throws in the equalizer as Keen has to flash out of the way of the turret. He's the one that takes down the kill onto the Rumble, and Gen G barely get out alive.
Yeah, but so much money's going over to Zeka. Like, I don't think this solves the problem. That's the only angle they really had on the map.
It solves one of the problems, but there are a lot more still available.
Yeah. I don't know how many plates have gone down that top turret. I think it's a bit of a race here for first brick. And I think it's going to be won by HLE, but I actually, nope, never mind.
Yeah,
it's Yorick.
You're going to be able to take it.
And so they do end up getting that one, which is really huge for them as well. This Yorick is that side lane threat we talked about now. And he probably doesn't need help anymore.
Yeah, we like, if you're a Gen G fan, you just require Keen to hard carry. That's kind of what this game is going to look like. Gen G really do need to split the map as best they can. Trinity Force is now complete, and Canyon also has his first item. It's why they weren't fighting for Drakes or anything like that, because there's a Trinity Force compared to components on Gen G's side, so they were never going to be winning any of those battles with Kanavi and Canyon involved.
It is very, very, very powerful, but, you know, it's 2 Drake lead here for Chemtech Soul, so Double Dragon, not necessarily the highest value, even though those individual stats will feel great, and Chemtech, a little healing for Senna.
Chemtech for HLE, like Senna Trundle? I think you're feeling pretty good.
Trundle actually is always feeling good about it, and also the Alistair with his ult running.
Yeah.
Gonna enjoy.
There's also Emilio on the other side, so I actually think that like the Chemtech value is kind of high.
It's not bad. It's,
this is not an Orc Sustra moment. You know, I feel like he's off the hook for this one.
Yeah, he's maybe doing us a service, in fact.
Indeed.
I hope he eventually tunes into the game, though, because like he missed a banger.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I assume he's watching.
Yeah, no, I assume as well. I want to lean into the little Ox Sus Chemtech Soul thing that we always do. But,
yeah, it is important.
Right now, it's only 1,000 gold the advantage here for HLE, but it's what comes later into the game. And the ability that they have to avoid dragon fights if they don't like the look of it because of their 2-dragon lead. There's so many things that are in the pros column for HLE. The big wins for Gen G is that even behind, their comp is really easy to execute with pick. You know, the charm follow-up to the Vi ultimate, the burst damage is there from Ruler. They're definitely still in this one.
Oh.
Delay is in this wall.
He is. He's going to have to press his R button.
The pillar,
there's a pillar inside the goalie wall?
Get him out.
Crazy. They're creating sculptures here on the rim.
Kanavi's like, I know how to get that cow out, but the cow's not going to like it. Bunker down, Delight.
Yeah, just torch me. Yeah, it's one of those angles. All right, well, Gen G now going to move back towards his top lane to try and defend this turret that is extremely healthy. Obviously, Keen having a pretty good time. Despite the one death, his turret is very, very safe.
the push in the bottom lane, which is shadowed by Canyon here, could lead to some plates going over to Chovy. There is a teleport here for Zeus, but if he TPs in, he's going to be in trouble. Look at Canyon just kind of camping this.
Yeah.
Zeus is wise to it, but
still, he's going to get the cease and desist down. Let's see whether Trophy can get in here with the damage. Absolutely he can, as the Dawning Shadow is unfortunately a little late.
It feels like the way...
in like the early afternoon or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe like, you know, the next day. But like...
the tomorrow Shadow.
I kind of feel like the way that Zeus checked that bush is like, I guess there's a chance. And then Canyon's like, yeah, and I am here, and now you're going to die. It's very peculiar.
Yeah, I guess he just thought that he'd probably be okay between two turrets. And honestly, I was kind of there with him. As Kanavi able to escape the Ghoulie wall, but he will be able to get the smite off onto this crab. Ruler gets interrupted, now looking for an angle towards Guma as in goes Canyon one more time. Delight gets the ult down, and now where's the Pulverize going to land? Onto two, is now Chovy looking for the angle. There's an equalizer. Could be in a better position, but isn't too bad as Delight is the first to go down. Kanavi, though, is going ballistic in that backline, but does have to flash to get out of the way. Canyon is going to get roasted, though, but Keen going ballistic will get taken out, though, by Zeus. And Zeka now flashing on top of Chovy. He has to flash away. And Duro, oh no, this is not the adventure the Melio was looking for, has to flash away himself. A 2-for-2 exchange in the end.
Yeah, it was looking like maybe Gen.G were going to run away with that fight and start to get back a ton of control, but ultimately it is a 2-for-2 trade. So notice that Zeka isn't here, and because he's Ryze, he doesn't have teleport, he has Ghost, so he has to walk for so long before he can actually Realm Warp into the fight. Delight does his best to buy a lot of space here. There is no Vi ultimate critically, so Guma actually doesn't get Vi ulted because it's not available, and he pumps damage throughout this entire fight. Then the Realm Warp shows up, Ruler's forced to flash, so a lot of the damage is gone here for Gen.G. Then the chase down is real. Zeka also with his flash over the charm, just cinematic. Oh, forces Chovy to flash in response, and Zeus did so much work, picks up doubles, including that shutdown onto the Yorick. So Gen.G walked out with a gold lead at the end of that fight, but you can see now it's just straight up even. We look for the third dragon here. HLE have sole point if they can take this fight.
Well, they do have Guma walking from base. Can affect the fight in 6 seconds with the ulti. As Melio is in a lot of trouble. Duro's just going to get eaten. That is going to be Canyon locking down the dragon, but can they get themselves out of this pit? That's the question as Kanavi rotates over. He's spotted as Ruler. Yeah, you're not getting out of that pit as now the equalizer comes down. Canyon, he's pretty famous. He walks the red carpet to his demise. And it's Guma that snipes down the Vi in the end. Keen, not there. Just hanging out in this top lane. We'll be able to take down a bunch of minions. But HLE launched themselves into a big lead.
Yeah, it's sole point for a massive gold lead here for HLE. The amount of gold they pick up on this win on top of their scaling elements here. I mean, look at Ryze's items, right? Like, he's not even really in the conversation for damage now, but he absolutely will be. But when you look at Senna, who's got Cleaver already at 17 minutes, and this Rumble that has 4 kills, you're like, I mean, I guess the Ryze will get there eventually, but he doesn't have to be the main character. Maybe he's just a Realm Warp bot, as unfortunately, you know, you lose your support. The rest of these champions kind of got some dashes, right? Like, oh, get over these walls. Ruler, unfortunately, not quite able to dash his way out.
Yeah, they spot Kanavi, and then Ruler's like, well, where am I supposed to go now?
And then the aim of the Dawning Shadow this time and the timing.
Oh yeah,
poignant there for Guma as he's able
definitely.
To
That was first light on the third day, Wolf. That's what that was. That was gorgeous.
Yes.
I've just been referencing.
No, you've been doing great.
Zeka's going to get hit by a Q here. Keen doing a fair bit of work. Does land another one, and yeah, unfortunately cannot interrupt the Realm Warp. So
he's just
Zeka
a Realm Warp guy right now. It's fine. He'll be relevant later.
Yep. Kanavi on the Rift Herald, as now Canyon just hunting, but Chovy not going to quite get there in time, and it will be the Rift Herald started up by Gen.G. Okay, so the Maiden and the Yorick getting some work done here in this bottom lane. They do manage to take down that outer turret, as this Rift Herald is likely just going to go back into the pit.
It's a really hard fight here for Gen.G, right? I mean, Toby he has 10 stacks of Dark Seal here, right? Like, he has 2 items. He is very powerful. They have to play through him in skirmishes. But if you don't hit your mark, like, Ruler is not going to be able to clean up the fight for you. Like, you basically need to win the fight instantly at this point as Gen.G, or you lose. And you need to kill a prio target, but there are 3 targets that do a lot of amount of damage. Well, 2, because Zeka isn't really doing it yet, but he will. given time, as he will be the prio target here.
Yeah, let's see whether the rest of the team can actually get there in time. That's the question, as the charm is going to connect. Dawning Shadow comes through yet again, as Chovy will be able to find it, but Zeus gets there in time, and Canyon is likely... Oh, never mind, the Flame Spitter wears off, and now Chovy a little bit early on the dash, and he's straight into the equalizer. Duro is able to keep him alive, though, and Keen shows up, and he is an absolute menace. The flash in, and he just massacres Guma. And now Zeus is going to silence himself, and Delight doesn't. He just can't be in melee range because Keen will just get all of his health back. Kanavi will show up, though, and I think that will be the end of this Yorick eventually, as Zeus will finally take him down.
All right, Canyon is maybe going to have to drop this Herald. As Ruler is pushing in mid. We'll grab 2 plates. It looks
Ruler
like
very happy to have some time.
Yeah, he's like, please, give me money. I want to hit the champions, but first I must hit the turret.
Yes.
And Herald is dropped by Canyon after that play top side. So this is a long play here. And I thought Zeko was going to get out because he's got Crushers, right? He's got the shield. He's got...
Oh. We had to come back for something. I'm
yeah,
not entirely sure what it was. There it is. It's Zeka dying again. Hit by a charm. Vi Ari. It's a pretty good combo, isn't it?
Yes, it is working pretty well. Not if you're Zeka. You're not enjoying it because you're still big in the hole here, and now significantly more so to this
Big
Ari.
in the hole or in the big hole?
Yes. You're
both of them
deep in the hole, I think is what I was looking for there.
But he's also in the big hole.
The height
Absolutely.
of the hole is big? Is it a height or is it depth? It's
Yorick has his shovel working at the bottom of the hole.
Yeah, he continues to dig.
He does.
And Zeka's going to get placed in it a third time. The game is now suddenly weirdly very playable for Gen G because the Fed Ari is just getting worked on. I think if Ruler's picking up these kills, you know, this feels amazing. Obviously involved in this one doesn't pick up the kill, but you start to spread that gold around a little bit. This Lucian is going to do great follow-up work. He already is on 2 items here.
Yeah.
Guma's working towards his third. Scary thing is Guma also has 62 souls and will be shooting from a very far range away, and that's where, like, you can see it already here when you like zoom out. You're like, wow, it's gonna be hard to punish this guy.
And in game number 1, Gen G just kind of ignored Gumayusi the entire game and then lost to him in the last team fight. I don't think they can ignore him in this one. As Drake going to be up in 7 seconds time, but we have another Pulverize here from Delight. He's put into the Ghoulie wall as Keen looking to try and take him down. The Unbreakable Will is pretty good as Chovy just skirting the outskirts of this fight. Equalizer not doing a massive amount of work here as Ruler still at full health. But the rest of Gen G not looking so hot. Delight has to go back home, though. This might be the angle for Gen G to look for this Dragon and even out the scoreline there.
It's really hard to fight this with Guma having really no front line. Oh
dear, actually interrupts, fights the charm. Kanavi sniped, and that will guarantee the Dragon.
Sometimes Chovy just says, I'm taking this game in my hands.
What did we say?
I'm taking it back.
The very beginning of the day, he needs to defend that POM ranking, man.
And he absolutely right now 100% is. See what happens the rest of the series as Duro is going to sacrifice himself.
Mega Cone, and Piercing Darkness almost kills him. Duro still had Flash. Wow, that's some bravery. And HLE.
Speaking of bravery, I mean, they are holding this Baron as HLE show up.
Yeah, let's see. There is no equalizer, which is a big tool in this moment, as Zeus looking to get into that backline. They find the charm, but it's not onto the target that they were looking for. It's now Chovy dashing around the battlefield. Zeus is going to die, and this Ari is picking up all of the resets. Dash counter with the charm. It's going to go wide. Gumayusi's still at full health, and he needs to hit those Qs, Chovy. And Gen G are going to have to back away. Kanavi shows up. No Baron this time for the blue team.
At 2 for 2, but there's no Baron. Gen G wanted it so desperately, frankly needed it, as the gold lead, by the way, goes to 0 after this fight. It's how close this game is right now, but there are a lot of scaling elements.
As this time, Gen G will realize that Gumayusi is in the game.
Yes. This time, Delight doesn't have the cone to get him out of the hole, so he takes a lot of damage. And Chovy is able to follow up and do insane work in this follow-up fight. Canyon goes to the Dragon.
This Ward did a whole lot of work.
He's just like, they're probably, you know, probably in there because I could see him and I'm going to kill him. And like,
they're not a mirage.
There has been a few weird bush things in this game. Yeah. Okay, this fight here, Guma does a ton of damage, and everyone else chases the smite button. Because, like, if we can kill Canyon, they can't get this Baron, but ultimately the fight goes so weird.
Oh, that charm missing is crazy.
If he dies, they get the Baron, everything is great. Instead, dead even game.
Well, no Baron for either team this time around. 14-13 is the kill score, even on Drake's. What did we request? A game as close as the last one as Canyon moves forward. It's a great charm onto Delight. He gets fire kicked back as well.
It's a lot of
and has the ulti.
Used.
That's on cooldown.
It's a lot of abilities used for his ulti, but they are going to be able to turn this into a potential Baron take here. And this time it looks like, you know, Zeus, he has teleport, but they're just going to give this up. And in fact, Gen.G also stopped taking the Baron. They decide not to take it.
Yep, Crab is still there to provide vision for HLE, so it's a bit dangerous for Gen.G to go for it, I guess.
Yeah, it was quite a tense situation all around. I think if you're Gen.G in this situation, you know, you want to have one more proper team fight, or at least a proper pick. I love the build here for Zeka, by the way. You know, opting to buy, even though he's pretty low eco and pretty behind in this game, the arm guard, because you're playing into Ahri Vi, and they've gotten you already 3 times. So just buy the defensive item, because you're not the main character in this game scaling-wise. You've got Guma, who is looking at his 3rd item. You have the extra damage that's pumping out of Zeus right now, and eventually you'll get that actualizer, but right now you just need to be safe. Right now you just need to not die to these combos, and you should be able to outscale. You should be able to win the longer game. So a safe buy there, even though it will significantly delay his build.
Yep, and does hit level 16 as well, 2 levels ahead of Chovy. In this moment, obviously Chovy about to ding level 15. Rod of Ages helping out really nicely here for the Rise to keep him in it. Let's have a look here at the money. 2,000 gold is the approximate lead for Gumayusi, who now has 3 items. Hex Optics feels fantastic.
It's such a Senna item. It is such a Senna item. It's also a Caitlyn item, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He likes to shoot far, and that's what he's doing. Wow.
Okay, so we'll see whether Gen.G are going to sit up and notice, because I think as this game goes on, he's going to have a big target on his head as Delight gets charmed up here. There's the calling out once again.
I feel like I just watched this exact play happen moments ago, except Delight didn't have to press his ult this time.
Thankfully, he does hold on to that one, but he's still going back home. We have some resets coming on through for HLE, as this outer turret is still standing somehow. Gumayusi stops his back, but I don't think he's going to be saving this. Crystalline Overgrowth built up. And that will be this turret going down.
The Vi Ahri is so powerful, so potent, and so threatening that even though the scaling is starting to really hit here, Guma can shoot from so far away. He has his flash available. HLE are just not messing around with trying to defend that turret. They're like, you know what? I think we're just going to play the long game. And we're just going to let this turret go. Yes, they have a dive comp. Getting that first turret is so valuable for Gen.G because it allows them to flank more with this Vi and set up more stuff, but we think we're good. We think we're in a good spot here in this game, and we actually don't need to throw this game away trying to defend a turret and getting collapsed on and Vi ulted. Just let it go. Play for scaling. This is quite a measured HLE. This is a different HLE. You know, this is what I'm saying. They're showing a lot of depth in this series.
They really are. And now soul points available for both teams. Drake's up in 12 seconds time. There's the pillar going down as Chovy chooses the dash cannon instead of the ult. And will be able to escape any danger, but HLE will move into the relative fog of war here.
Soul point fight for either team.
There is so much setup, though, for HLE. Now, finally, things are getting cleared out, but it is dangerous. The Maiden going to face check, and she is going to be taken out as Chovy looks for the angle, gets a nice charm, and the culling going to help out, taking out Zeus. He does get the equalizer in, but it's not a whole lot of value, and now Delight in amongst it, gets the pulverize onto 2. Ruler is delivered, but the charm again from Chovy as he dances around the fight, takes down Zeus. Sorry, Zeka, and now Gumayusi being chased out by Keen. He brings down the shovel and will be able to deal with this Senna. It is a clean fight for Gen.G as they wipe the floor with him, and they also secure the dragon. There is Chemtech all over the place, and they'll use that to take down the Baron.
And perhaps the best thing of all is it looks like we're going to a 3rd game here.
Oh, baby.
And Zeus here tries to get some value out of his equalizer. The placement here pretty good, but he just dies instantly. And then watch when they try to collapse into the rest of the fight. They push on to Delight, and Guma's trying to do a lot of damage, but ultimately has to flash left. And at this moment, he's like, well, I lived, but I can't do more, and the rest of the fight on the right side without his damage is just a wash, as this Rise is not going to be able to get it done alone this far behind. And so Guma, even though he lived, he now doesn't have flash. He wasn't able to turn that fight to second death of the series.
What the? 100% kill contribution, 9, 1, and 10!
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess he goes up to 900 points if they win this series. That's okay. Well,
I mean, I don't know the last
Chovy.
time I've seen an Ahri carry performance like this with the game state, everything that we have to consider, but...
And they still may not win, right? The gold lead is like 5K at almost 30 minutes into the game. It's considerable. They have soul point, but it's only a Chemtech Salt. It's not the end of the world. They do have Baron now. They're going to have to use it to really drive home this game.
Yeah, I think it's also about whether or not they can open the space right now. The Ryze wave clear is so incredibly useful at just kind of stalling this out, buying time here. If they can get an inhibitor, feel much better about their chances of closing this game out. I mean, they are in a massive gold lead. This Ahri, it could not be more fed.
Yeah, well, Kanavi going to be able to sidestep the charm, and let's see whether Chovy has to use the ult. He does, gets over the wall, deals with the traffic cone there as well. As now Delight going to have to get out of there. The charm is going to miss, has the ghost, so gets himself out of the way of that one. But in the meantime, GenG will destroy the inhibitor turret in the bottom lane.
They cannot quite get the inhibitor. Would have been massive if they could.
Oh, Keen being so annoying at this stage of the game as well. As the game goes on, right, he's got 3 items now. This Yorick, it doesn't get better.
Yeah, no, he has Jack shows, so when you try to kill him, it takes so long that GenG always gets something else. If you can kill him, that is. And, you know, in this situation, he just gets the turret as, you know, GenG forced the play there, tried to look for the pick. And Chovy once again pillared.
Yeah, there's the charge up as they do get in on top of Kanavi. Dawning Shadow comes down though and they just kill him. GenG were aware of this play, but they thought that they could outplay it. Now Canyon has to flash to get out of this one. Does have the Vault Breaker, and Keen is able to at least potentially save the Vi. Gets over the wall, Mega Cone, and he's out of there. But they've killed the Ahri. That has taken so much of the wind out of their sails as, oh, Ruler gets the pick under Guma! Kanavi gets wiped out, and Ruler hadn't been doing anything all game long, and he may have just saved it back again for GenG after they lost their hero. Oh man, that must have felt cathartic for the guy picked on all game.
What a just sudden way for this game to end. Like, it looked like maybe HLE had gotten something back there. Maybe it looked like they set the trap, and that was actually going to be them getting back control, and the wind was out of the sails of GenG, and the scaling was just going to hit on the resets and respawns, but instead they just get their necks snapped by Hide on Bush.
Yep. And what, Chovy for Nexus is going to be the trade, I guess? And I mean, he had a bounty on him. Maybe it's close to worth it. It's more than 50 gold, but this should deliver us to 3 games. Azeka does finally break that arm guard. So does Zeus, but he's in the ghoulie wall and in the death chamber thereafter as the Nexus is exposed. Decent pulverize there from Delight, but I don't think they're surviving this. And GenG will deliver us to the full series as Chovy respawns, gets a Quadra, and takes over the game.
What a game from Chovy.